he can throw his Death Ward in, right? Does a lot of damage with Maledict as well, and I cannot believe this stream is still lagging. And he can get the damage out as Dark Willow now will be the pickup. So now you've got Terrorize as well for that Arena of Blood. You throw the arena up, you throw Terrorize down on everyone within that arena, and they just keep running into the walls and hurting themselves. It's a very easy combination to land, but also a very, very effective one. And Dark Willow is a direct counter towards the Timbersaw, as she does have so many ways of disrupting him during chains or just halting his mobility so he can't actually do Timbersaw things throughout a team fight. So I love the pickups from Singularity. And if I may also kind of criticize the Timbersaw pick, like I love the hero personally, but the hero is basically countered by just buying a Spirit Vessel. It's not really that hard to just pick up a Spirit Vessel on one of your supports, and the Timbersaw's kind of not tanky anymore. Like, sure, he's still got crazy armor with reactive armor, but just doesn't feel anywhere near as effective once the Spirit Vessel is available in the opposing team. Nevertheless, Winstrike, they do go back into the Juggernaut pick. We saw this in Game 1. It wasn't overly effective. It had its moments when Omnislash was up. It did a lot, but
10 seconds remaining.
After that, it was kind of just a sitting duck.
5 seconds remaining.
Singularity have plenty of time to counter-pick the Jug. I mean, they may even just go and pick Anti-Mage again. Although I still disagree with the Anti-Mage being the direct counter. It's still, it worked last game, right? Instead, they pick up an even better direct counter towards the Jug. You get Razor, you static link him, he spins, it does nothing. And then he tries to attack, and it also does nothing. The Razor is just a great counter. Fantastic. I assume that will be a mid-Razor, but it could also be put in the safe lane.
5 seconds remaining.
You have those final bans. Winstrike gonna start letting the reserve time tick down under a minute.
Radiant team
They'll get rid of the Leshrac, which is something I wouldn't have expected. Does combo well with the Mars, so I guess it wouldn't have been too surprising, but that hero has not had a very high success rate as of late. Just feels very, very underwhelming.
Radiant team picked.
And well, we see a Veno ban from Singularity as now they grab the TA. I honestly love this from Singularity. I think once they go to that 15-20 minute mark, I don't see how Winstrike can control them. I really don't. Even their lanes, right? Like, you look at the TA, she's not going to lose her lane. You look at the Razor, doesn't lose lanes. The Mars maybe doesn't outright win the lane, but he doesn't tend to die very easily, and he still is able to secure a lot of farm, just due to how tanky the Mars is. Winstrike, they need something very, very powerful against that TA, and I think the optimal choice right now is the Viper. I think Viper is really your only way of going through Refraction and dominating this mid lane, forcing the TA to go into the jungle instead. And mind you, the jungle is still very fast with TA, but it's not quite as fast as just farming in the lane for a while. But I think Winstrike, it's just the obvious choice to pick up something like a Viper. Run it in mid. Viper doesn't really lose mid lane. Get that break as well up against the Mars, which is pretty effective. Yeah, they go for the Doom. It's okay. We saw Young G play a mid Doom yesterday, and he did get relatively farmed relatively quick. I believe they lost that game though. Looks like I gotta raise his quality a bit. I believe, if I remember correctly, they lost that game. Although Doom can farm okay up against the TA mid, it doesn't really slow down the TA. I think the idea is if we throw Doom on the TA, at least she won't be able to do anything in the team fight. But you've still got the Razor to be worried about, you've still got the Mars. It's kind of pretty wishful thinking to assume that you're going to find the Doom every single time a team fight begins. I guess only time will tell how this game number 2 goes, but Winstrike do need to win this to force it to a game 3. They definitely want to get some points on the board because they got 0-2'd by Khan yesterday as well, so definitely don't want to see them getting 2-0'd again. The game will start.
You can run. You should run. You are dead.
And they you can already see Singularity. They feel, at least the Razor feels very confident about what the drafts ended up like. In case anyone in chat's wondering, I know you guys ask a lot who has the better draft. In my personal opinion, I would say Singularity outright has the way better draft. I could be wrong, so don't take it for granted what I say, but it's, you know, they just have so many counters. And judging off that last performance they had, I wouldn't even say we saw the best of Singularity in that game 1. Because they were running an offlane Dazzle that had very, very limited kind of output in the game. But now you've got Hester Joe and a hero like Mars who can do a lot more. And make matters worse, they already found TSA. TSA is going to be first blood. Static Link does eventually wear off TSA. Do you actually get out of here? No, you don't. Zidrax, he does have the damage output with that Static Link.
And the atmosphere's electric.
That was a very risky position to show yourself in this early on as a Rubik. I guess he got sort of unlucky because the Dark Willow was also there with Brambles ready to go. But yeah, that was a very rough position to be in. Winstrike will at least get an even bounty rune trade. It would be a 2 for 2. But you gave Zitrak on the Razor that much bonus gold before the game's even started. There's as our lovely cameraman is pointing out, the wards are in the mid lane. Very nice. I believe the Lich is actually there to de-ward the TA Observer. In fact, never mind, he's just running up top. We'll see TSA going for a very easy, very early creep pull. Kind of surprised he's allowed to get away with this. But nobody on the side of Singularity was in position to contest it. We'll see DNZ, he will actually TP top now. And a nice spear into the Lich, into the Brambles, and Kikid is also going to go down.
Any more where that came from? It's my right.
Top lane, spin, gonna be there. I'm not sure if Hester J even threw out a spear, but it looks like they will force out the level 1 spin early. When you're running the Lich Juggernaut combo in the top lane, usually each spin should amount to some kind of kill or really nice harass, but now Bramble's going to come out into the spear, and it does really just push him into the root. Doesn't really latch onto a tree, so they're going to have to let him go. But you do keep him on very, very low health, and he will be forced to use a lot of regen as TSA now going to get caught out by Suzuya. Hasn't even thrown out the coconut yet. He'll get it out now with that plasma field to slow TSA down, and again the static link. TSA understands he should just be dead. And Suzuya will be forced to take the kill on the Witch Doctor, but that's going to make it a 3-0 prior to the 2.5 minute mark.
top tower is under attack.
No gold for you.
DK. Static Link. Paralyzing Cask. Melodict. And I think DK may go down. He does chain away, but it's a lot of damage coming in. Zitrax should have the follow-up with the Melodict there. DK. We're actually going to juke him out. Nice salve. Chains away. Very clever play from DK, and he will survive, at least for now. He does need some more support down at the spot, though. Like, you can't really leave the Rubik out of the lane with this Timbersaw. It's every time they have Paralyzing Cask and Melodict as well as Static Link, that's going to happen. And he's not going to have a salve every time to commit to bring himself back to full HP. Now, another great spear on Kikid. Frost Shield will come out, but no spin. Just won't bother with it. Kiki, did you just commit a salve? He commits another one. In fact, it was Hester Joe that committed his own salve first. I thought for a second Kiki wasted a salve there, but he doesn't. Spear won't latch onto a tree.
That's mine too.
DNZ's putting a bit of a clinic here onto the Lich. Very hard to contest a Dark Willow like that, and Bramble's going to latch on. He does have the Shadow Realm. Won't commit yet. There will be a spin TP immediately coming out. Is he going to survive? He will. The spin damage is nowhere near enough. And everything is just going swimmingly for Singularity. They have actually won every lane so far. Even the off lane with the Mars is currently winning very, very hard. TSA now gonna get chased down by Suzuya. Paralyzing Cask does land. Melodic's still taking him out. TSA may end up surviving, but Suzuya is forcing him out of this lane very well. Those creep blocks aren't gonna help him in pursuing the kill, but now you know the Rubik's not down bot, so you can try to make another play onto the Timbersaw. And I believe that's exactly where this Witch Doctor is headed, as he has popped a mango. No real pressure to make that kill happen anyway. Like, Zitrax free farming on the Razor. No contention at all. They're going to try. Static Link, Kinetic, Paralyzing Cask does connect. DK still getting Static Linked here. It's not going to be enough, it seems. I believe the Melodic will not take him out. But you're still happy with that, as Kikid now top lane going to go down to DNZ.
A little mischief never killed anyone.
The chaos continues. 4-0, 1k net worth lead for Singularity. We haven't seen any kills come out for Winstrike, as the spear does land now with Brambles coming in. The Jug will be okay. He has spin anyway. Spin. The Junk will go for him, but he's just going to TP out on Hester Joe. This is just so upsetting for Winstrike, I'm sure, because they just can't make this combo work. They try to go after DNZ, but this is just waste time. They may as well just go back to farming the creep wave, honestly. You don't have spin, so what's the point of even chasing? Now DNZ just turns around, back onto Kikid. Gives him a slap on the behind. We'll leave. And at least you're going to have that level 6 soon on your Jug, so you will have Omni Slash to have that follow-up damage very, very soon. But even then, I'm not sure if that'd be enough. This Mars just feels so tanky in this top lane. They're even making the pings out again onto DK. Paralyzing cast does land. Doesn't bounce back towards DK. They still get a hell of a lot of damage as now DNZ does get Kikid up at the top. And look at this Timbersaur's net worth. Look at the Jug's net worth. They're just getting absolutely zero in lane. Jug just barely hit 2k with passive gold, ticking him over. The Timbersaur still sitting at 1.9. Make that 1.8. How do you contest this in the mid lane? In the mid game? It looks like Young G. He's going to try and pursue a kill up at the top. DK, though, going down at the bot lane as Plasma Field does land. They do claim the kill. Young G, he's going to TP down bot now to try and find this trade as he does not have Doom, but he has Infernal Blade. Or rather, he doesn't. He had the Stomp. He'll find the kill anyway. So that's the one saving grace right now for Winstrike. Young G has farmed extremely well on the Doom thanks to Devour. Might want to skill up Doom soon though. I think Winstrike need as many ganks as possible. Even poor Kiki just getting bullied out by a Witch Doctor. Top lane Jug, do not get baited. He was thinking about it, but he realizes that Hester Joe is probably around the area. Speaking of Hester Joe, he is starting to run towards the Jug now. Has the Arena of Blood up and ready to go.
Your top tower is under attack. Dire's structures
And
are
in fact, the Jug will just leave the lane. He goes down bot where they are trying to secure a kill now onto the TA.
Your top tower
Excalibur going to be surrounded. TSA gets a nice lift off, and now the Doom comes out. Young G setting up a great kill. Cast from Suzuya will help a little bit. In fact, it may allow him to run out as now the Arena comes out. Hester Joe letting the TA get out of there. TSA's falling low. He will go down on the Rubik, and they're going to chase for even more. As DNZ does get Kikid once again. Young G is forced to run out, and Excalibur, he survived on about 40 HP. What a shame for Winstrike. DNZ, maybe he goes down to TK. He's going to find a bounty. He might even find a secondary bounty, and he's going to go for the Terrorize now. Just runs back the other way.
Your bottom tower is under
And it's
attack.
an 8-1. S&G just styling all over Winstrike. You look at this Jug, like, at least in the first game, he had some farm. He's got nothing right now.
Dire's structures are fortified.
DK,
Radiant structures are
gonna be there to
fortified.
defend that mid lane. Excalibur's got a double damage active, so it's not a smart place to try and fight. They're just trying to get through those refraction charges before the team fight starts. Young G, he's actually going to run in after Excalibur, but you don't have Doom available. The spear back, TSA gets the lift off Excalibur. He's starting to fall low. They get the gaze off. Still, Excalibur just turns it around and rips the Lich apart. He does lose his life in the process. Winstrike, they will get away with that kill. They do save the T1, but it does take 5 heroes to make it happen. And Hester Joe, he gets DK Focus's courier. DK will manage to chain away on the Timber. He'll be alright. I gotta say, I'm kind of shocked that that Singularity didn't want to turn around in that mid lane team fight. Perhaps it's because the Razor wasn't anywhere near, so they really just didn't want to risk it 4v5. But with that TA double damage, it did feel like if the Razor was close enough, they could have turned it very easily. I don't think they'll mind too much as the Excalibur, he's getting that Desolator up very, very soon. Once the Deso's up, that T1 mid not going to survive too long. Winstrike just going to get back to farming while they can. Zirax now with the Mask of Madness build and the Razor. Gotta love that build, to be honest. Just after Static Link's done, you just pop the Mask of Madness with all that bonus damage, and it's impossible to deal with sometimes. I mean, you've got the Doom, but you want to commit Doom on the TA, not the Razor. Yes, maybe Omni-Slash may be an answer for that Mask of Madness and the Razor, but I don't think so. I don't think it'll be enough damage. You look at those hero levels, the difference is DK Phogos. He goes down to Zirax up at the top lane by himself. DNZ though, gonna get caught out. He does have Shadow Realm, or no, he doesn't. He will go down. They got the T1 tower, which is what they came for anyway. And that top lane kill, we didn't quite see it, but DK Phogos just dying by himself to a Razor. Now, a spear from Hester Joe, gonna find out this poor Lich. Kikid has absolutely no chance of survival. In fact, Kikid's only level 5. I mean, we're 13.5 minutes in. Still hasn't got Chain Frost up. That is just so problematic. Young G wanted to try and pop drums and run after DBZ, but got stuck in the brambles. Young G gonna make a chase. DK should have the slow on Suzuya, but now the arena comes out. Still, this Witch Doctor should die, but gets healed up with the Terrorize. It's going to be a lot of damage with that arena. DK forced to get out. Young G's in trouble, though. They have the Deso on the TA. The Doom does nothing. Meanwhile, Zirax finds a kill on the Jug, and DK, he is a sitting duck. And the tips just fly out to Young G and Kiki. And Winstrike definitely not going to be happy. The Lich is still level 5.
Arms for the dead.
Kiki, just go to a lane for a second, sir. Just get that 6. They can't keep taking team fights like this. They're missing Chain Frost, which is one of their strongest abilities. Now the Roshan's gone.
Just what the doctor ordered.
Alright, it looks like the Lich should find that level 6. He's in the mid lane. I think he maybe was in XP range. I can't see at the moment if he did hit the 6, but my god, he needs it so darn bad. Don't get me wrong, I don't know if the level 1 Chain Frost is going to make that big of a difference anymore, because we're 15 or almost 16 minutes into the game now. But at least you've got that extra magic damage and that little bit of extra chaos that Winstrike may actually be able to kind of go off. Even the slow is pretty darn useful. They got to be careful to not get caught out. Kikid, Curse Crown, Brambles. Gets stunned up and he's dead. Not even a Chain Frost to come out. He got terrorized. This is turning into a real stomp. 7k net worth lead for Singularity. They're going to find another tower in the mid lane.
Are fortified. Your middle tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack.
PSA. Slowed up by the trap, gets a lift off, another trap will fly out. Zirax, are you really going to chase? I don't think he will. But look at bot lane now. DK Phogos getting soloed by Suzuya, excuse me, on the Witch Doctor. Arena, mid lane, they baited him back in. Kiki goes down. He got the Chain Frost off, but again, it's not really doing anything. It just kind of slowed them down a little bit. And oh, the Jug. Esther Joe's like, oh, there's a Jug here, but I want the Timbersaw. Suzuya trying to run away. DK Phogos gets Cursed Crowned, gets brambled, gets speared into his own T1 tower. What a way to die. Now a Doom being forced out from the Doom. Young G BKB and Doom committed just to ensure he gets saved from this Razor. And the Razor's not even going to die. Zitrak's going to happily walk out of this. And I assume that was the 10-second BKB charge being used up to make matters worse.
You are dead.
Zitrax, he will not stop. It goes back to the draft. Like, they don't really... It's a decent draft, but not against what Singularity has. They just counted them in every single way. Top lane. Bit of a fight over the outpost. There we go. Suzuya. Gonna get Infernal Bladed up, still gonna be able to run out of there. They already killed off Kikid. Now the spin comes out from the jug, but he's still copying so much damage from Excalibur on the plasma field. It'd be enough from Zitrax. Excalibur's still alive with the Aegis. DK Focus trying to get him with the Chakram. He won't even get that. They got the arena onto Young G, so he's trapped in there. And it looks like they're both going down, as DK gonna continue to be chased down. Young G does lose his life. More tips from Suzuya. DK... He'll get out. He'll chain out. But the torture just doesn't stop. It's a massacre.
You are dead. Dead.
Winstrike, I have a feeling they may have their fingers over that GG button. Or rather, just the G button right now. It's rough. I don't know how you come back from this.
Radiant structures are fortified.
You've still got potential with that jug. Problem is, every other hero on Winstrike are kind of underfarmed, underleveled. Your Timbersaw is just a non-factor. He's sitting at 5.3k net worth.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Smoke, they're going to try one last time. Winstrike, can you at least get Suzuya? They got trapped up, so they're all been slowed. DK Fogos, he ran through the trap and they just popped it. Now the Cursed Crown comes out. Look at Hester. He has the arena. He's ready to jump. They've got to pick him off first on the Mars, I think, or even just get the Doom off. But now they'll lift him up. Hester, he moves forward and gets a 3-man. The BKB is popped by Young G, but doesn't matter. The Omni Slash. Zirax does finally go down, but Suzuya just channeling the Death Ward. They have to get out of there. The Jug's falling low. He's going to go down anyway. Excalibur finds the auto attack. Kikid's going to be chased. He gets trapped up. He gets stunned up, and he loses all his HP, and there's the GG call. It was a final team fight. They said, look, we'll make the smoke work. If the smoke doesn't work, we just call GG. They were 2 behind. They tried their best, but all props to Singularity. They were the clear favorites in the matchup, and they do pull off the 2-0 victory, and that is it for our first BO3 for tonight. And now we get to go to the one that I'm sure all of you guys are looking forward to. It's going to be Bait versus Chicken Fighters in the second best of 3 for tonight. Of course, I know there's pretty much everyone's a Dendi fan, right? We can't lie. Everyone was there during TI1. Chicken Fighters are also, though, a pretty darn good team, and I've seen a lot of fans in the chat of the Chicken Fighters side. And in fact, if you look at the group standings right now on Wikipedia, Chicken Fighters and Bait are actually sitting even at 1 and 2nd place, or 1st and 2nd place.
EGB.